Welcome, Sojourners. You have found yourself a cozy place here at Sojourners Awake. I'm Jonathan, and this is our production of The Bookish and the Brave. And this is our production of The Fairy and the Free. This is the second and final part in which we combined both games, including Vaughn, Hawkins, Sterling, Ascenditon, Triyina, Samoon, and Bertie. That's right. The crowd from The Bookish and the Brave and the crowd from The Fairy and the Free played together in a game and told a wonderful story. And this is the conclusion of that story. I have to say, it was very brave of me to combine both of my groups into one game. Brave? Brave, is that the right word? Either way, if you enjoyed it, please go to your favorite podcasting platform, leave a rating and review, and share it with a friend. We continue the story with Triyina and Bertie under the Tree of Inspiration. Two boggarts have dropped down and are attacking a defenseless man and his friend Romula. Let's find out what choices Triyina and Bertie make. And let's find out what happens to Aramonte. And so for now, our story continues. Sufficient. It's a little distance, but you can see two wardens. They just look at each other. Oh, what is going on today? And they rush towards the tree. Bertie, how do you respond?
Bertie's indifferent, and she's just kind of going with the flow of Trina's hysteria. And, yeah, I mean, I can't defend myself. I'm just a helpless little handful, and I'm gonna just walk away because I don't want to hurt myself. And come on, Tryina.
Oh yeah, this is definitely. You know what? That's all I got. Nope, we're good.
2 hours later, the wardens beat off these boggarts, rescuing this young man and Romula from these creatures. Cast some magic and some spells, praying to Milil, anyone who would listen, to banish these creatures from the tree. Meanwhile, Triyina and Bertie, to where do you go?
I mean, I still think we should go to the. I think we should go to the gym.
I would say in my quick escape from not wanting to be gotten in trouble, I'm just following Bertie. Can you believe he accused me of using magic to get out of that spot earlier? I mean, I did, but he had no way to prove it. And it was harmless magic. Nothing at all. He's fine. There's screaming happening behind us.
Bertie just pets her on the head and goes, shh, it's okay.
Later on that day, Vaughn and Hawkins, the Temple of Condonat is in repair. There's stones to be moved, there's blueprints laid out, there's machines and beasts of burden that are carrying the heaviest of items. There are wardens keeping watch, no witnesses about. The wardens have all given up their robes. And working alongside you, Vaughn and Hawkins, are two familiar dwarves, Phineas and Wangus. Out from the forges, they have stripped their shirts, catching in the morning sun, singing songs, and working alongside you. Vaughn, in this wreckage and rubble and rebuilding, how do you appear?
Vaughn reaches over and grabs the biggest of the stones and looks at Phineas and says, I'll grab this one, little man. Why don't you grab the smaller one? Hey, Hawkins, where does this go?
Hawkins consults his plans that are laying in front of him and directs Vaughn. Oh, it's that one's actually pretty far. It goes over on the other side of that pile of rubble there. It must have fallen the wrong way.
Grab the other one, Phineas. Let's go. Vaughn's just working away like he has been since this happened. He's pretty intentional with his time, but he's allotted a couple hours every afternoon to help move the rubble and rebuild.
Hawkins, you notice that Vaughn is working alongside the dwarves. How are you appearing?
When Hawkins isn't needed to help direct the reconstruction, He's sifting through the rubble quite a bit, looking for bits and pieces of the Warforged to try to salvage anything he can from it.
Make an investigation check.
25.
25. Indeed, you do find pieces of the processor. You find its arm cannon as well.
Excellent. So as you know, Hawkins is going to continue to be asked questions and expected to give direction, but he's really distracted once he finds these things in trying to sort of reverse engineer them.
Triyina, you are walking past the Temple of Kondanak, and from a distance, you see Hawkins holding up a couple of warforged arms and robotic metal-looking skeletons. You also see Vaughn working alongside the dwarves, throwing the rubble, carrying the bricks back and forth. At this point, you are well hidden. How do you respond?
Do I see Aramonte?
Make a perception check to determine. Vaughn, would she be here?
That's a natural 20.
Yes, you do see her. She is well hidden, as she should be, but you can spot her a mile away. She's close to Vaughn, near a tree, blending in with the bark.
Now, this is after me and Bertie had our conversation at the tree, right? So
Yes.
Did we get to make it to the gym?
Uh,
I don't want to back up. I want to know if I've talked to Aramonte at all today.
no, you have not.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to see this, and my initial reaction is to freeze and want to go the different direction. I was going to visit Elastra at the other temple. But I see Aramonte, and I've been trying to get a chance to talk to her, but when we went to the gym earlier, we only had Sigurd to deal with, and that was just off-putting. So Bertie, I'm sure, had a great time. Trina did not. So she's going to try to sneak closer to get a word in and just talk to her and see how she's doing.
Good. You will make a stealth check. Vaughn will make a perception check. Hawkins, you will also make a perception check.
Or for Hawkins.
Okay.
19.
Natural 20.
No! I'm telling you, these dice are listening to our story.
That's my baby.
That's my baby first.
Oh my gosh. Hawkins, engrossed in your studies, staring at this cannon, this arm. Triyina, you... Well, please describe how you approach Aramonte.
Where's she hidden? Can you kind of set the scene for me?
She is set up near a large ash tree. She's blending in with the bark. She is about 30 feet away from Vaughn, but there's plenty of rubble, and at this point, Vaughn has his back turned towards you.
All right, so I'm looking and I'm waiting for that moment. I'm trying to time it to where I think Vaughn is the furthest he's going to be with that is back to me. I notice that Hawkins is just doing his own thing. She's up against the tree, so is there anything for me to kind of slide up against? Because I am going to do my best to not be seen.
Oh, you're doing a great job. And
Yeah.
yes, sliding up close to Aramonte as best you can. And for a minute, it actually seems like Vaughn has stepped away for a break.
Yeah, honestly,
and you see like cigar smoke from the dwarves just billowing out and creating the semblance of a break.
And then, yeah, I'm just gonna come up behind her into what I think looks nice and casual, that I'm just leaning against the tree, so I'm not trying to draw attention to myself, and just whisper, Aramonte.
Oh, Mama, how are you? I'm good. What are you doing?
I just was walking by to visit Miss Elastra, and I saw you here, and I just wanted to see, are you well? Are you safe?
I'm safe. I'm
Yeah,
well.
there's a lot of building kind of coming down, so don't get too close.
Oh, it doesn't hurt.
When the building falls on you, it'll probably hurt a lot.
Oh, I can smush into the ground. And then she shows you how she becomes one with the ground for a little bit. It doesn't hurt at all.
Wow, you didn't get that from me. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to underestimate you. But still, I mean, just be careful. So,
I can do fireball.
do you want to do fireball? Right here?
Next
Maybe
to
over there?
the
She points
explosion.
towards Hawkins and all Hawkins and Vaughn and them do like over there.
No, that's where Papa is.
Oh yeah, I suppose that's true.
Vaughn, at this point, you can hear Aramonte talking to someone.
Vaughn, hearing her voice, would drop the stone and turn around and start walking very quickly back. And when he gets a little closer, he would say, excuse me, can I help you?
Being totally engrossed with this conversation with Aramonte, Tryina just freezes and just looks at you. Oh no, sir, I'm just passing by.
Aramonte, was she talking to you? Are you okay?
Aramonte's eyes are big. She's looking at her mother. She's looking at her father. And then she says, Uncle Hawkins!
Vaughn looks.
Hawkins, you are now broken from your concentration, hearing the voice of Aramonte and seeing Vaughn.
If Vaughn looked away, I'm going to try to power walk away and see if I can escape.
Okay. Make a dexterity check. Acrobatics. It just has to be higher than a 15.
It's not. It's a
Okay.
3, it's a 7.
It's not that fast. Hawkins, you are approaching fast.
Hawkins sort of trots over, seeing, something kind of strange going on. Does he get there before Trina's very far away?
She's not that
Okay.
far away, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you got
10
there pretty
feet, if
quickly.
that.
Mhm.
Hey, what's going on here, Monte?
Oh! Make a persuasion check.
Her? Him?
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
10.
Nothing. And she turns around to look at Triyina.
I'll give a very subtle, no, which I'm sure they can pick up on. Triyina wants out of the situation. Sarah doesn't.
Yeah. Aramonte looks back and does not break her gaze from Triyina, as if she recognized her.
As Hawkins passes by where Triyina was, does he smell any lingering redwood scent?
Nice. I'm gonna say yes.
That smell again. I love that. Do you make that smell, Aramonte?
No? What
You know
smell?
It's kind of a redwood. It reminds me of that forest. Hey, Vaughn, you remember that forest that we walked through on our way here the first time?
How can I forget? Aramonte, why did you call for Uncle Hawkins? And
Make a.
do you know that lady? Because you seem interested.
Make a persuasion check.
I was going to say, seeing her stuttering and stumbling, I think Triyina will now turn around and just be like, no, enough. Let's do the persuasion check first. 20. Can't say no to Dad.
Yeah, at that moment, she swallows hard and says, she calls out to you, Triyina. Mama, come back!
Mama?
Triyina was already turning around to save her daughter, and her expression is just stone.
Triyina, as you turn around, as you're walking quickly, at that moment, Ascendaton, you bump
Sorry.
into Triyina.
Yeah, I was expecting her to keep going, and suddenly she's not. Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
I'm not
Mama!
paying attention to him.
Come back!
Excuse me. And he steps back.
Where is your mama? I don't see her.
She points at Triyina.
Trina's walking back towards you very purposefully. I am her mother.
Hawkins puts his hand on Vaughn's elbow. Steady.
Hello, Sojourners. If you are enjoying this background music and ambiance, then you should visit Tabletop Audio. This particular segment is called Dusk of the Dryad. You can find them at www.tabletopaudio.com. Before we discover the outcome of the confrontation between Vaughn and Triyina, though it has been long awaited, let us take a minute to see how Sterling is doing. And so for now, our story continues. Earlier that day, Sterling, how do you appear moments before Syndeton is with you?
Sterling has been hanging out at the courtyard in front of the House of Lazarus, and he's been there just, he's been checking in on Philo and seeing how he's doing and seeing how that has all been progressing. But he's been wanting to talk to Syndeton since he had seen him cast the healing word on Irony actually at the House of Lazarus. So he wanted to, he's just kind of going over these lines in his head, just kind of waiting to see if he accidentally bumps into him.
Syndeton, do you leave your dormitory or are you arriving at your dormitory?
Leaving to go outside.
And there you see Sterling.
Master Sterling, how are you today?
Oh, Syndeton, I'm good. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna come straight out. I've been looking for you. Do you have a moment of time?
For you, absolutely.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, actually, okay. Sorry, let me change my approach. So, I have a favor I need to ask of you. As someone who's sent to assist me and help me, all of us in this task that we've got coming up. I need you to do something for me. If you ever see me just sort of zone out or just go a little bit not like myself, I saw that you have a little bit of an innate ability to to heal and to I've been watching and you're very persuasive. Actually, you use your words very well. People tend to like you and do what you ask. I need to learn how to do that, probably with less words like you. So as we're on that, so if you ever see me go comatose, just come whisper in my ear. Just say Shala Shalice. Can you do that for me?
Certainly can. Shala Shalis.
What
is the
good.
meaning? I've not heard this phrase before.
Well, actually, we got that from a dragon. So I don't talk to many dragons. So, but it was to help this lady out who was having an issue. And I think I have that issue too. And I don't know if it works if I say it, or I don't even know if I'll be able to say it. So I'm just I need your help. So if you could do that, it'd be great.
It would be my honor, Master Sterling.
Oh, thanks. I don't think the other two can do anything really other than hit things. But well, actually, Hawkins shocked me once. That was quite cool. And Vaughn does these really weird jumps. Like he can move pretty. Anyway, you'll see. It'll be all right.
Hawkins, your hand is on Vaughn, as high as you can reach. How do you respond?
Steady, Vaughn.
What are you talking about?
You asked her, do you always grill her like that? You can see she was scared and trembling. How could you get on her case like that? Honestly.
Who are you? And why are you talking to me like that?
I'm her mother.
Her mother is some weird fairy.
Oh, I would like to use my face step and teleport right behind him.
And Triyina vapes out of your sight, and as she does so,
I'd like
you
to
get that rich smell of redwood and wine and honey, and then
I'd like to appear right behind him, and I was going to use the prestidigitation to do that and be like, yes, that's right, I am a weird fairy.
Vaughn's going to swing around, just daggers in his eyes. What are you doing here?
I was having a conversation with my daughter until you rudely interrupted it. Honestly, are you always so hard on her? She is a growing girl.
She is way brighter than you know, and I should know that because you dropped her off in my apartment and I've been taking care of her.
Oh,
after
good.
you damaged my apartment, no less.
I did not damage your apartment. Your apartment damaged itself. You are insane. Somebody could have gotten hurt. Somebody did get hurt. I think he got arrested too.
Well, I wish that somebody was you.
How rude. Aramonte, it was good to see you. I'll speak with you later. She's gonna try to walk away.
Yeah, both of y'all make intimidation checks.
Natural one.
Oh, yes.
Well, that's beautiful because I rolled a 4.
Yeah, Aramonte is just weeping at this point, but silently.
Oh
And you see that her eyes are drooping down her petal face.
Aramonte, I'm sorry. There's a lot you don't know about this, but your mother, we have a lot to discuss, and we shouldn't have talked about this in front of you.
no. I don't think we have anything to discuss.
If you would go away, then we wouldn't have to.
I'm not. She was about to say, I'm not leaving my child, and then remember that's exactly what she's planning on doing. And so she kind of, that steel in her eye softens and she looks away. You don't know what you're talking about. I want to get on the ground and go to give a hug to Aramonte. It's like, come here, sweetie. And see, she'll come to me.
Vaughn's going to have clenched fists, but he's just going to stand there and watch.
Yeah, Vaughn, and what you see is Aramonte does embrace her as she embraces you.
I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for it to go like this. Do you want to get some ice cream at the Bald Top Brew?
No.
Okay. I take that as a personal rejection. It's very clear on my face.
Vaughn's just very stoic.
Okay.
Hawkins.
Hawkins is sort of standing by, seeing that Vaughn is containing himself. But he is looking for an opportunity to talk to Triyina a little bit. So once she starts to walk away, he'll come up beside her.
I think when Vaughn sees, when he hears Aramonte say that she doesn't want to go get ice cream, he would then take advantage of that opportunity and bend down and try to get her to come to him.
How do you do so?
He's going to look at her and he's just going to put his hands out, invite her to climb up his leg and up his arm and around his neck like she does.
While she did not want to go to the Bald Top Brew, she might want to go to you. So make a persuasion check.
Come on, die.
Yeah,
Natural
she's more
20.
Oh. Aramonte does receive your embrace, Vaughn, and for the moment you are free to remove her from this tense situation, leaving Hawkins and Triyina both there.
Excuse me a moment, Triyina, if I may.
Did Vaughn just start walking away with Aramonte?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna stay kneeling when Hawkins addresses me, and a little bit of that Eladrin winter is gonna start frosting my hair as I watch Aramonte leave with Vaughn, knowing that this is what I thought that I wanted, and I'm experiencing it might not be what I actually wanted. Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Well, it's just, I thought it might be a good idea to let you know, Vaughn loves Aramonte very much, and
Yeah, I noticed.
he is a good father to her. He is softer with her than I've ever seen him any other time. She's good for him, and I think he's a good protector for her. Now, he might be a little bit overprotective. He might have trouble helping her, giving her the space to grow, but, he's still getting used to her. They're growing together.
She takes a really deep breath and just says, I chose well. Thank you. Hey, your friend doesn't still keep those herbs in his bag, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Ugh, unbelievable. I thought I'd learn something. Well, hey, it doesn't mean much, but I'm glad you guys didn't get eaten by the wolves.
Well, I appreciate it.
Sorry I broke your dog.
Well, that's fine. It wasn't my own resources, and I got to make a new design afterward. Can I ask, how is it that you're not, a tree creature anymore?
She stands up and the frost starts to recede and she's going back into her spring, and she's still watching Vaughn and Aramonte go. She's like, oh, well, this is what I used to look like before I became a dryad. This is my original form. After the incident, when you all got away, I wasn't serving my purpose anymore, so I was set loose from the tree. And yeah, I'm free of that now. And this was the closest sanctuary.
Well, I don't understand what all that means, but I'm glad you're free, I guess.
Yeah, I will be soon.
At that moment, Samoon and Bertie, you are walking together through the court of air. You see Hawkins and Triyina.
So there I was, and my rope just went up in the air, and I don't understand what happened.
I wish I was there to see that, but I guess I was sleeping. I guess I didn't go to work again. That was silly. I don't work there anymore.
I heard they have a new drink there called the cactia.
Yeah, that's a different kind of drink. This one guy that I was with, his name is Hawkins. He had a sip of it and pretty much passed out on his way home. So
That must be like the warm beer they served that one time.
that
This
was
place
my
serves
invention.
weird drinks.
That was my beer, and I invented it.
Oh, that's right. That was a great drink. I remember it very well. The next day.
Hey, there's Trina.
Oh, hi, Triyina.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Hey, Trina, did you get to see Aramonte today?
Yeah, I did. Hawkins, these are my friends, Samoon and Bertie. This is Hawkins. He's one of the bookends. I think he was behind the dog.
And I see the infamous orange pants here.
You were behind the dog that got stuck in the rope?
No, not that
I thought it
dog.
was the...
The
Oh,
metal dog, Samoon. The
That
one that tried to
monstrosity.
kill us.
that thing bit my leg really bad and it hurts.
Well, you broke into my friend's room, so
I did not break in.
We
The
were
door was
let
open
in.
to us.
well, if you were supposed to be in there, then all the security would not have reacted to you being there.
Well, clearly they don't give the right security to the tour guides.
I designed the security system for
Well,
Vaughn's room.
I have some suggestions.
Well, okay. So I must say that the dog was pretty cool, but it definitely terrified me. And then I
Pretty-
jumped bed,
How did you
and then I saw
know
this
Samoon?
owl outside the window.
How did you know Samoon?
I don't know Samoon, but I do recognize those orange clothes. They are quite distinctive. One of the security measures was that when he touched one of the weapons on the wall, I was able to receive a live image of him as if I were watching him from a distance.
That was you.
And
You were the owl?
yeah, that
So
was.
wait, hang on a second. You were the dog and the alarm and the owl?
Well, I'm
Is Vaughn terrified of you? I mean, because you could ruin his life really easily. He's put all of his life there.
now that is
Your
that's an
hands.
interesting idea. I might have some fun with that later. I didn't like control those things. I just
But you
made
could
them.
have.
Sure.
Huh.
Vaughn was practicing evading security systems. So I was, giving him some training with that.
How does your owl vision thing work? Does it work over long distances?
Oh, well, not very long distances.
Oh. So it wouldn't work across planes of existence?
I wouldn't think so, no.
Do you know of anything that might show images that far? Maybe have conversations?
All the technology that I deal with is pretty well confined to Vaughn's realm.
Okay. I was just curious. Just an idea.
I'll do a little bit of research into interplanar stuff, though. That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be really helpful. What are you guys doing, Bertie, Samoon? Bertie, did you ever make it to the gym?
I did not make it to the gym, and my muscles are getting weaker by the minute.
Oh, I will go to the gym with you, Bertie.
You know
Okay,
what?
let's go.
I'll go with you too. It was good to see you again, Hawkins.
Yeah, good to see you too, I guess.
Yeah.
A little bit better than the first time, tension notwithstanding.
Well, I'm not having a vested interest in feeding you to wolves this time.
I appreciate that.
I do not have a vested interest of being bitten by a metal dog again either. But well played.
Sterling, you are in the Orange Blossom Gymnasium. How do you appear?
Out of place? I mean,
He's very tired.
Yeah. He's watching everybody working out and being like, yeah, I could possibly do that eventually. Not yet, but yeah.
Bertie, you walk in to the Orange Blossom Gymnasium with your entourage. Triyina and Samoon are with you.
Do I see Vaughn? Is Vaughn there?
Vaughn is not here today. He seems to be absent for some reason. You do see Sterling. What is Sterling doing at this moment?
Sterling is kind of, after listening to the dragon saying, well, you've got to practice for the test, basically, and study and get ahead of it. He's trying to look to see what he can do to appear impressive. He's obviously built, but he's not like strong on land. So he's looking around to see what people are doing that he could possibly mimic. And then he sees the henfolk walk in. And he's like, I bet whatever.
So one challenge that is presented to build stamina and balance at the same time, Sigurd is stacking crates on top of each other in a pyramid-like fashion. And one by one, the trainees run up the crates and they begin to collapse and fall down. They splatter on the ground. No one has been able to do it so far. It's really easy. You got to have great thighs. And you got to have good balance all at the same time. It's really good. Come on, everybody try. Sigurd sees you, Bertie, and wonders, Bertie with the grip and the handshake. Would you care to try? Sterling, possibly you could learn some balance as well. I know Vaughn tells me it's been a while.
If only we
Hey,
could find a way
I'll
to
race
flip the
you.
gym.
Bertie issues you a challenge, Sterling.
Let's go.
Oh, a challenge! Hey, you! And he requisitions Triyina and Samoon to begin helping stacking crates. Now there are two lined up next to each other. Sigurd and all of the trainees getting very excited. Vaughn, you get a call on one of your stones. Your obsidian stones kind of pages you. Vaughn, there's something really exciting happening at the Orange Blossom Gymnasium. It's amazing. A wonderful contest. You gotta get here really quick and show them all what's up. Aramonte still clinging to your shoulder.
Aramonte, do you want to go to the gym?
Sure. Sterling and Bertie, you are poised. As you study this pyramid of crates that you have to run up and run down without falling over and breaking your neck, how do you prepare? Bertie.
Bertie doesn't prepare. She just stands there sort of staring at Sterling thinking, there's no way that he can beat me.
And Sterling is staring at Bertie to see what she's doing to prepare, and as she's not doing anything, he's like, he doesn't know what he's doing either, so he doesn't do anything. And he's like thinking, I have to beat her.
Okay, both of you make acrobatics checks.
Let's go, Bertie. It's just like the book. Another competition to get in your way.
That's a big 5 for Sterling.
That's right, Master Sterling. You've got her.
15.
What is it?
15.
15. Sterling, you start to stack up on the crates, and for the first few steps, you can see that this is going pretty easy. It's flowing. You start to hear a little bit of the cheers. Bertie is already halfway up, just low center of gravity, bounding up these pyramids. Sterling, in an attempt to catch up, you step on that fourth crate, and your balance gives way. You fall flat to the ground to the groans of the audience. Bertie, you ascend to the top and go all the way down to the bottom with no contest. Bertie is declared the winner.
Ooh, that's a how you do it, Bertie.
Now, who do I talk to about a possible statue? I mean, I think I deserve a statue for winning this, right?
Tell you what, Bertie, you give us that kind of show day after day, and I'm pretty sure you're gonna have a statue of your own, no problem at all. That was amazing. He goes over to help Sterling off the ground. Better luck next time, eh, bud?
Next time. Yeah. Next time.
Ascenditon, how do you appear as you're taking all this in?
A little disappointed and more at myself for not having thought to maybe imbue him with a little extra help. But I was just so enthralled by the challenge, and I don't dislike the newcomers. They seem to be very likable folk, and so at this point, I guess he's more mildly amused by everything.
Samoon, there is a little bit of space for you to exercise. How do you do so? There is a climbing wall that is displayed for today.
I'm going to go over to this climbing wall, Bertie and Triyina. I will be right back. And he's gonna go up to it. He's gonna look at it. He's just gonna spit on both hands and just try to climb up it.
Athletics check, please.
That is a 20. Dirty 20.
Ooh, like the wind. Samoon, it comes ever so natural to you. A couple of the jaws drop. Triyina and Bertie, you look on as if Samoon has climbing on the clouds at this point.
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, I guess asking Vaughn to teach me how to climb is stupid when we have somebody here that can teach me how to climb just fine.
You know, it's not a bad idea to get wisdom from everybody, though.
I'm not sure Vaughn has a lot of wisdom.
I'm uncharacteristically not going to insult his character this time.
Are you starting to like him? I mean, what happened?
What? Oh, no.
You didn't insult him.
I don't always insult people. That's silly.
Sure. Yeah. You don't do that.
No, it's fine. I mean, man, look at Samoon. I mean, if we had fallen off those cliffs and Cartwright wasn't there to catch us, I think he could have just climbed up from the ocean. It would have been fine. That was clearly not the life or death situation we thought it was. Look at him go.
Yeah.
Do you think
It's
he'll
true.
let the wind catch him on the way down?
That would be really cool. He should float.
He should definitely float.
Samoon, you were at the top, and Sterling, you are now at the bottom of the climbing wall.
What is this weird button here for? Looks it.
Yes.
A little bell chime.
Oh, bell chime. And one of the students who train kind of leans over to Sterling, says, "We don't do that anymore."
I haven't been able to get up there, so I wouldn't know.
Oh, you're next. Aren't you gonna go? Come on, we're all waiting.
You didn't just see me and over there? No. Okay,
Come on. He kind of shoves you in the shoulder.
But if I get up, how am I going to get down? Like, see, that guy hasn't even got down yet.
Oh, I'm
Samoon,
sure Samoon can lift you down.
So, yeah, I'm gonna just drop. And as I reach like the 5-foot threshold, the air is just gonna dissipate beneath me. And I'm just gonna kind of land with a little bit of a sludge. Wow, this was pretty fun. That was quite easy. You should give it a try, Sterling.
You didn't see me just fall from that barrel up there. I don't do falling so well like you do. Like this is a couple times now, mate.
What?
You've controlled the wind. Like, what are you? What goes on in the desert?
Well, you know, I recently learned when I was an early teenager, which was not too long ago, that I'm not human, but that I am Genasi. So I guess I have a connection to the wind that people don't have, and I found out that it comes from a genie thing, but I don't know because I grew up in an orphanage.
Yeah, I grew up in a military city underwater. Yeah, I'm the water Genasi. So you're wind or air, and I'm water. Mate, this is incredible. I've been looking for someone like you. I thought I found one once, but
That's amazing.
Anyway, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I know I've never met another one. So wow. So do you know any other Genasis?
Well, I mean, yes and no. There was this lady that was at this tavern place when my friends and I were in Skyworld, and she and the
I
genies did not really like each other up there very much. And then the place got blown up, and then we just never talked to her again.
Oh, so it's not
So
just
I
me
guess
that tends to
technically
blow
you are
things up. Okay.
the second conversation I've had with one.
Well, that's amazing, mate. Yeah, I found a gentleman in the basement once, and it like smelled like earth, and he started to meld with the stone. But anyway, I've got to stop talking about him. It's a sore wound.
Ascenditon, how are you appearing at this moment?
Eyes are wide as I'm listening to these people of mythical descent talking about things, and I'm beginning to realize just how much there is outside the walls of this library that I don't begin to understand, even having read as much as I have. And so he is simply watching this exchange. Normally it would be with some mild amusement, but now he's just completely enthralled with what they're sharing.
Triyina, you take a moment to comment to Bertie.
As Samoon and Sterling are talking, I just lean over to Bertie and point to Sterling. Hey, that's the guy who keeps the herbs hostage. The one I told you about. He tried to heal me with herbs. I was a tree. I don't need herbs.
I mean, it's not a far stretch. It really isn't. I mean, herbs grow, trees grow.
Do you heal yourself with flesh?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, if I can get myself a good, leg of something, I mean, I would eat it.
Ugh, I shouldn't have asked. Oh, starting gonna look green again.
Sterling and Samoon, you continue your conversation moments before Vaughn and Hawkins walk back into the orange gymnasium.
So you grew up in an orphanage, so you don't know your parents either, huh? So, wow, these Genasi, they're not very good parents, are they? But, we seem to be doing all right. Hey, look at us. We made it all the way to Boltop.
Yeah, it is quite amazing where I have come from. Yeah, where I have come from, it's in the desert outside of a main city called Canyon City, but I live more in like the wilderness of the desert in a small village. And I don't know who my parents are, but I found my own way in life.
Yeah, and you've been to Skyworld now, mate? Look, what the heck?
I know, we flew on this big cat called Catrick, and he was amazing. And then we went through this field of sound color. I could go on all day about that experience. I will never forget it. You should go sometime. I really encourage you.
As long as I don't have to climb anything.
Let me tell you, no one can simply go up against Bertie Cartwright. She is just too amazing at what she does. So don't hold that against yourself, my friend. But I believe you could do it. I think, you might not get it on the first go, but it takes practice.
She was just serving me a drink the other night. I didn't think she was going to be any better than me. I thought I actually had a chance. Like, she seemed half in the bag as she was giving me a drink. I mean...
Well, big surprises often come in small packages.
Speaking of small packages, Bertie, you are taking part in some of the workout when Vaughn and Hawkins walk in. What do they see you doing?
She's just like bench pressing the most. I mean, it's gone beyond the weights, and she's like trying to add just random stuff to the bar.
Like two witnesses sitting on each side of the bar. Vaughn, Hawkins.
Yeah, I'm so surprised to see Sterling in here, but figures all he's working out is his jaw. Look at that boy go.
Well, he's here. That's the first step, I guess.
Who's that over there benching? Wow.
That's Miss Bertie, I think, the one that gave us the drinks. Wow, she's strong.
I mean, you can bench that much, can't you?
I don't think I can bench that much. Maybe minus the witnesses.
They fall over at this point on the ground. Clunk.
Yeah, she's strong. That's good to know.
Hey, Bertie, I've got an idea. I'm going to come up to her, and then maybe this will help, and I'll use Mage Hand to start pushing against her weights to give her some resistance.
Get 5 extra pounds, Bertie.
And though, as an Arcane Trickster, my Mage Hand can be invisible, I have it visible so she can, see. And they look like big, muscular arms pushing down.
Vaughn and Hawkins, you take all this in.
What is that, Hawkins?
Well, I think that's a spell. mage hand, if I'm not mistaken.
Why would somebody use that magic here in my gym? I mean, the gym.
I don't know. Maybe it's maybe somebody's spotting her or something.
Looks like she can handle it.
Yeah, I
Vaughn's gonna
agree.
walk over and see what's up.
Bertie, you notice Vaughn walking up.
You're very strong, Bertie.
Thanks. I am strong. I'm trying to build up my muscles just to get stronger, so maybe I can get a statue for being like the strongest person here at Bald Top.
Well, I think if they're gonna give somebody a statue for being the strongest person, you're definitely in the running.
That's pretty much my goal here in this town, is just to get a statue of myself, so.
Well, I don't know how that works, but you're definitely impressing people.
Well, I'm sure. Is this your gym?
No, it's secrets here, but I do help out quite a bit.
Oh. Is this where you keep your daughter?
No, but she does come here with me. And he looks at Aramonte. She kind of creeps up from behind his shoulder and peeks around.
Hey, Aunt Bertie,
Hey, Aramonte.
you want to play kidnap?
Not today. Maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Aramonte goes and says, Uncle Samoon, make me fly, make me fly. Leaving Bertie and Vaughn alone.
Vaughn looks at her and shakes his head.
Can I say something to you, Vaughn, and be very frank?
Well, Bertie, I don't have a whole lot of interactions with you, but it seems like you are nothing but frank, so I'm listening.
That's probably true. So I'm somebody who has lived with multiple people and been in multiple situations. So I've got some experience with dealing with interactions of people. I'm not great at it, but I really think you should try to get along with Tryina, because if you don't, then Aramonte is going to have a hard time in life. And then her mother figure kind of appears next to her, and her grandmother spirits are appearing next to her, and they're just kind of nodding in agreement.
That freaks Vaughn out quite a bit. He takes a couple deep breaths, and then
Look, these are my friends. Don't freak out. Well, they're my family, not technically my friends. This is my mom. She goes with me wherever I go. And this is my grandmother, and she goes with me wherever I go. And they aren't with me really anymore in the physical form. But when things get kind of emotional and I get impassioned, they kind of keep me in check. So
that's very interesting. I don't know much about spiritual or magical or things like this, but it's nice to meet you both. And Bertie, I think what you say is true. I think you're right, but it's very difficult for me to... Well, Triyina doesn't seem to think she did anything wrong, and I'm very confident that my only interaction with her was being charmed and forced to kiss her, which apparently created Aramonte, which I'm grateful for. But I still am not a big fan of being manipulated like that, and definitely not a fan of somebody who won't take responsibility.
Well, here's two things. I accidentally kissed somebody too. It's okay to accidentally kiss somebody. I did that with irony. It was an accident. So that does
Did
happen.
you charm him?
No.
Did you make him do it against his will?
I don't know what his will was.
Well, I was made to do it against my will.
The second thing is that she had like this evil lady that was kind of after her, and so she felt like she had to leave her baby with you to keep the baby safe. So keep that in mind. It shows that she is a good mom and she cares about her daughter.
I am grateful that she left Aramonte with me to protect her, and I can see that she cares about Aramonte. I will try, Bertie. I will work. Well, I'd never punched her. That's pretty good. You can ask Hawkins and Sterling. I've punched a lot of people.
I might have punched her. I can't remember, but I've at least thought about punching her.
Did it feel good? Because I imagine it would feel really good. Might relieve a little stress, but I didn't do it, and I don't plan on doing it.
Okay, that's good. That's good news.
So, but thank you. Thank you for your encouragement.
Welcome. That's all I really have to say. When it comes to family, I get very opinionated.
I know a thing or two about family and protecting your family. But thank you for sharing, and nice to meet you both again.
It was good to meet you.
The spirits just nod towards you, Vaughn, and then fade out of existence. Ascendanton, as you close out this time here at the Orange Blossom Gymnasium, how do you end it?
Speaking to both Sterling and Samoon, surely you have heard the tale of the lady and the 3 djinn. I cannot tell you what it means to meet both of you. I have long heard this story and many like it, but it is genuinely a pleasure to meet somebody of your noble birthright.
I don't know that I know the story myself, but if growing up in the middle of the desert is noble, I mean, I've seen nobility. I don't know that I have nobility in me.
It's not so much that it's in you. It is in the decisions you make, the way you live.
Oh. Well, yeah, I try to make good decisions, I guess, and help people as best I can, because I've been helped a lot by the orphanage, and so I just find my ways giving back.
With rope, yes, I see.
Sterling.
Yeah, it's a bit of a noble heritage. I mean, for me, it's a shame it just took so long to find out, but it's getting better. It really is. Now that I found more in the world, and I have a way to an angle or a way to go. But yeah, it's getting better day by day. So I'm very, very happy to have found another Genasi. It's nice to meet you, Samoon. I feel like I've got some friends here, but it's nice to have kind of a brother.
Indeed, Master Sterling. Well, I think I need to go. It was very good to meet all of you.
Oh, it was nice to meet you, even though I don't think I got your name.
My name is Ascendanton.
Oh, it is nice to meet you, Ascendanton.
You as well, Samoon.
Ascendanton, you head back to the House of Lazarus, closing out the evening. Samoon.
Oh, well, he seemed like a really nice guy, Sterling. But yeah, I feel like this has been a very good day at Balltop, and I have to say that this was the one that had the least. Well, the first day I spent here, I died. That was kind of weird. So I'm glad I'm not dead yet.
Wait, you died too? Yeah, I mean, I died before I got. Is it a rite of passage? I wonder if it's a Genasi thing.
Well, I don't know. This turtle that used to work at the brew was with this guy who owned it, and then he stabbed me in the back. But somebody else could have that rite of passage if that's any predicament for the future. Sterling, I think you and I should hang out sometime.
Yeah,
I think that would be fun.
You want to try and share a cacti, because they're pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie. That hot beer, or warm beer, no, stay away from that, mate.
Yeah, I do not want another warm beer, but I will try one of the cacti. That sounds good.
Samoon and Sterling, you head over to the Bald Top Brew to share hours of friendship and stories over the tier of the cactus. Hawkins.
Hawkins went over after he entered the gym. He went over to the ranged section, and he had brought his crossbow and that mechanism that he found in the rubble of the temple, and he's working on something. After hours and hours and hours of sitting there working on it, tweaking something, playing around with his tools, he's able to figure out how to get his crossbow to shoot twice. So he's very excited. But it's a long day of work.
And you press on, making up for the hours that you spent sleeping in this morning, late into the night. Vaughn
leaves his conversation with Bertie and realizes that what she said is true, and tries to figure out in his mind, first of all, how he could possibly get Triyina to sit down with him to have a conversation. Secondly, if Hawkins would be willing to be there to mediate. And then thirdly, how to have this conversation when he's still pretty certain that she manipulated him and doesn't want to take responsibility for it, and can he let that go? So he's deep in thought, trying to figure out balance between what would be best for Aramonte and what his pride and internal struggle is doing to him. So he's pretty contemplative, and Aramonte seems to be pretty contemplative as well. So I think it's a very quiet evening for the two of them. And I think that's about it.
As you change for the night, you're reducing yourself down to your night clothes. You feel your mother's ring in your hand. It compels you to find beauty in this moment. What do you find?
Vaughn looks at the ring and then looks at Aramonte and smiles. And he says, "Well, Mom, this is a weird situation, but I guess I am grateful for what Triyina did, is it gave me Aramonte. Maybe I can let that go."
And Triyina, how do you close out your day?
Triyina stood back, watching the antics in the gymnasium. She watched Vaughn and Bertie have a conversation, and it looked like they were getting along well, even though she didn't hear what was being said. And she looks at her friends having a good time, everyone blending together, and she slips away quietly to her room, where she writes a letter. She takes the letter. Is there some sort of post office kind of a thing? She takes
Yes.
the letter to post it, and as twilight falls, she stands out in the courtyard and she calls to the Prince of Autumn. Does he appear?
Hey, I was wondering if you were going to call.
Yeah. I started my day out looking for inspiration under the tree. And
here I am.
and here you are. Yeah. But actually inspiration turned out to be everywhere but the tree. And I've had a long day, and I'm ready to make my decision.
He waits.
I'm ready to go with you. Just me.
Just you.
Yeah.
Can see the day has taken its toll on you. And I'm happy that you accepted my offer. We'll leave as soon as possible.
I'm ready when you are. She actually already has a bag packed.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. The Prince of Autumn smiles. The crisp scent of leaves, pumpkin pie, and the cool autumn wind blows through the courtyard. He extends his hand to you.
And I take it.
And so for now, our story concludes. Every story comes to an ending, so for now we must conclude. Thank you for listening, Sojourners. Your attention will not go unrewarded, and we look forward to continuing this adventure. Nearly 2 years to the day, Triyina, the Eladrin elf from Dreamland, leaves Bonzarel and returns home. The first time she met the Sojourners, while they were resting and traveling in the night, ferns and bushes began to rustle as if coming alive. Overtaken by this fairy magic, this mushroom and fern forest act as a fairy ring to travel deep into Dreamland. Of course, without warning, vicious and hungry wolves from Dreamland sprung up out of the ground and attacked. They desired to satisfy their hunger upon a single person. Their smell was of sweet honey and red wine, and rather than howling, they sung beautiful, seductive choruses to lure creatures into their jaws. Triyina, at that time, as a tree dryad, saw the plight of these sojourners surrounded by the wolves, and deceptively offered to lead them safely through the trees using her tree walk. She is only able to take one person at a time, and of course requires a kiss from a mortal man as passage. Unbeknownst to the sojourner, from that kiss she was able to fashion together a fairy of her own in the likeness of a sojourner. This, of course, would take some time, but in this disguise the dryad partners with these wolves to lead travelers into her trap. She is, of course, able to rescue them and take them safely through the forest if they are lost, but not without price. Up until this point, Triyina merely satisfied the Queen of Air and Darkness by leading foolish travelers into her trap. But when she saw Vaughn, she chose well, and decided this was the moment in which she could create something of her own, something outside the reach of the Queen. She pulled off the con, offered it to Vaughn, and therefore Aramonte was born. Now, as Triyina takes the hand of the Prince of Autumn and Twilight, she is the fairy and the free. And so for now, our story concludes. Please continue to follow along with Bertie and Samoon in the next season of Sojourners Awake. And if you are enjoying The Bookish and the Brave, please go to your favorite podcasting platform and leave a rating and review. It will certainly help Vaughn, Hawkins, Sterling, and Ascendaton on their journey to find the Black Lotus. A heartfelt thank you to Sarah, who played the part of Triyina. If you are interested in more of her work as an author, visit www.storiesbysarah.danielle.com. But however you choose to sojourn with us, as always, may your story continue.
Sarah, that was phenomenal, and I think the way that you let the dice lead you too. I mean, I don't ever roll like that, and it just led the story where it needed to go. But yeah, to those three most important rolls were a natural 20, a 16, and a natural 20.
Yeah.
And I don't get those kinds of rolls, but it just played out that way, and the way you played against that was awesome. That was really great, and I love how you brought in the history of our story too, where you referred back to several episodes.
Sarah playing the internal conflict throughout the episode, it was like, you know, your voice is fraught with the things that Trina's feeling. So it was really good. All around, awesome stuff.
My conversation with you as Hawkins is what decided where Trina was going to go. I did not know whether Trina would make the decision to stay or go. I was leaning towards her staying. But after that very abrasive conversation with Vaughn, after Aramonte going to him and not choosing to go with her, and then what you said, reaffirming he's a good guy, he loves her so much, and he's overprotective. Like, that's everything that she wants for her, and the way she sees it, the best thing she can do is just leave. So the letter she wrote is a letter that she's written to Vaughn to explain things.